Molo Sanbonani, hello, how's it? Good day. Welcome to the Vuka Nazo Show. My name is Sihle Ngobese, aka Big Daddy Liberty. Remember, whether you're watching this simulcast on Facebook or YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button right now. If it is on YouTube, then we'll subscribe to the show and hit that bell notification. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Guys, remember, we have a website. Find us, and you can also support us financially there by going to BigDaddyLiberty.com. Now, with that being said, enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get straight into the news. All right, some breaking news now, indeed breaking at the time of me finding this particular story. I take you to Durban, where there has been I'll call it positive development in beginning to solve the case of the murder of popular rapper and music superstar AKA or Keenan Forbes. Of course, the latest being that the alleged gun used to kill Keenan Forbes had been recovered by the South African Police Service, and a man in his 20s, said to be in his 20s, has been arrested for being in possession of it. Now, I'm going to read from this independent online piece, which gives a bit more detail of the story, which of course comes from an unnamed source said to be close to the police investigation. Now, ballistics have confirmed that the 9mm pistol was positively linked to the shooting incident that claimed the lives of the two men. That's of course Keenan Forbes and his friend and former music manager AKA Tibz Motswane. Now, of course, it's understood that the man arrested is in his 20s. However, according to another source, this particular gun was one used generally for hire. End of quote. That last line is it leaves a sickening feeling in the stomach, in the sense of I've said this before on social media, that this country has descended into the sort of lawlessness where criminals almost run a parallel crime economy, where almost like walking into a car dealership, one can rent anything from pistols, rifles, automatic rifles, and even plastic explosives and grenades. That is the almost shopping list that South African criminals have in this country, as we've become a country defined by hitmen on the one hand and of course mass murderers on the other, to which the South African Police Service, much to the credit of ordinary men and women in blue who try their level best, simply are not managed well enough to be able to respond to this crime wave that we're experiencing. And what do I mean by not managed well enough? Well, it begins at the very top, where a useless individual like Ubheki is the political leadership of law enforcement in this country, specifically the SAPS or South African Police Service, and of course the actual management of the South African Police Service. Much of it, too much of it actually, simply are people who do not know what they're doing. They are there in those positions of senior management, not because they're competent career police officers, but more likely because they're deployed cadres of the ANC. It's this that is coming back to haunt South Africa in a most terrible way. The erosion of law enforcement, the erosion of the rule of law by the ANC for the past 30 years, where many crimes, far too many crimes, go unsolved. Indeed, the conviction rate of categories of crime in this country, such as murder, according to Action Society, you remember our good friend Ian Cameron of this fame, Action Society basically pointing out that the success in convicting murderers is in the single digits in this country. Indeed, this has to change if we're going to be a society, a South Africa, if you will, where it's actually the criminals who live in fear and ordinary people like you and me living in peace. Again, as a show, we hope there'll be justice for AKA. All right, that's it for this episode of Vuka Nazo. Please, hey, let me know what you think about this particular matter. Leave a comment, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. The most important thing you can do is to, yes, hit that like button, but more importantly, share the stream. Please share it widely. With that being said, if you're looking to support the work that we're doing here, and it's the advocacy work in particular, then please consider contributing to the show. How do you do that? Find a payment method that suits you at our website. That's at BigDaddyLiberty.com. Now, if you like any of the stories that we covered here, the links are in the descriptor. With that being said, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next episode of the Vuka Nazo Show.